Hello guys, welcome once more to Class Online. My name is Tutodami, and in this video we shall be looking at Waec Physics 2016 question number 11 to number 15, and we shall be removing all complexities. Now don't forget, in this edition I'll be teaching you something special. I'll be teaching you why Superman always fly by lying down on the air. The simple thing is all about pressure. Now there's something about pressure that most people don't understand and they find difficult, and we shall be looking at different aspects of physics that many students find difficult. We shall be clarifying it and making it what you or anyone can do in a very interesting way. Now don't forget that if you learn anything from this video, click on like button. We have more content to send to you that will better help you understand physics. Okay, now let's get to the question number 11. It says a plank is placed along the path on which a wheelbarrow containing sand is pushed at a construction site, okay, to prevent it from sticking as illustrated in the diagram above. Now the large area of the plank prevents the wheelbarrow from getting stuck, okay, by what? Increasing the reaction of the ground, increasing the pressure on the ground, decreasing the pressure on the ground, decreasing the weight, okay, on the ground. Sorry. What do you think might be the correct answer to that question? Now, this question is simply saying that we put wheelbarrow. This wheelbarrow was placed on this plank so that it will not sink into the ground. Now, why did you do that? Because if you place it on the ground, on the soil directly, it will begin to sink. It will start going down due to pressure. Now, the reason why this wheelbarrow was placed on this plan was to reduce the pressure, and that is the answer. But I will explain further. Now, look at pressure. Now, there's something about pressure that many people need to understand. Pressure is force over area. That means the smaller the area, the higher the pressure, and the higher the area, the lower the pressure. This is what I mean. Look at this guy. His name is Kunle. He's eating this substance, this ball, kind of. It's not a ball, it's just a material. He's eating this substance into the wall. But look at this, the substance he's eating. The substance has a higher area below. That means the base, the under part of the substance is not pointed, it is large. So that means this substance is not going to enter the wall because the area is large. If there is high area, if the area is large, the pressure will be low. That means he is not exerting enough pressure. He is not exerting enough pressure because the area is large. So area always, when the area is large, it reduces the pressure. Okay, but if look at this one, Tunji. His name is Tunji. He took a nail. Why will a nail enter the wall? And you can't eat this kind of substance, flat things, into the wall. The simple reason is because the nail has lower area at the bottom. That means anything pointed can easily penetrate. The area at the bottom or the lower part of the at the pointed edge of the nail is low. So small area increases pressure because area is inversely proportional to pressure. See, so that means force and pressure are the same. If the pressure is if the force is high, the pressure will be high. But if the area is high, then that means area is fighting pressure. So if the area is high, the pressure will be low. So the area of this bottom is very big, it's very wide. So the pressure that it can exert will be low. If the area is low, the pressure will be high. So now what we have here is this. Look at this wheelbarrow. This plank here is very wide. That means it has a large area, and therefore the pressure exerted will be low, so because the area is wide. But if this wheelbarrow is standing on something pointed downward, it will have higher pressure. So it was spread out so that there will be lower pressure. This thing has so many applications. One of such is what we have when I said something about Superman at the beginning, that Superman can fly through air because for him to fly, he has to stretch. He has to lie down on the air. So because you move faster when you are pointed, as in when your area, for him to penetrate or tear through the air with faster speed, he has to be pointed. That means he has to be streamlined. That means what I mean is this is a toothpick. Now, this toothpick can easily penetrate the wall because why? It is streamlined. What's not streamlined? it is pointed. What's not pointed? The mouth is sharp. For you to penetrate, you have to be sharp. And that's why a rocket can easily burst out of the earth, because for you to go to tear through the earth, gravity, you must be pointed, and you must tear the ozone layer, and you can't tear the ozone layer without being streamlined like this. You must be pointed like you are a bullet, and that's why bullets too can penetrate the wall, because they are pointed like this, and that means they have lower area. That means they will have high pressure. So the reason why the plank was placed here is to reduce the pressure, so that this wheelbarrow will not pressurize the ground and sink into the ground. So the plank makes it flat. So the pressure of the wheelbarrow is spread across the plank, and as it spread across the plank, the pressure gets lower, and therefore it can't sink into the ground, because the plank is flat. Flat and plank make the pressure low, and then that is the answer to the question. So the answer is that the plank was placed there to reduce or decreasing the pressure on the ground. But if there is no plank, there will be increase in pressure. So if there is no plank, the weight of the wheelbarrow will exert excess pressure on the floor, and it will begin to sink. And that is the answer to that question. Don't forget that things can penetrate better if they have smaller area, because pressure is force over area. So the area has to be low for the pressure to be high, and that is it. Now let's talk about number 12. When a body is thrown vertically upward, its velocity at the maximum height is what? Now if you throw a stone up, right, as the stone goes up, it will get to a point, it will stop in the sky. That's in the atmosphere. It will stop, it will hang, it will stop moving. That's called the maximum height it can go. Now what is the speed at that point? Is it maximum? 0, double its initial value, half its initial value. Do you have any idea? That's correct. The answer is simply 0. For the stone to stop in the air, then it has gotten to 0 speed. So it is 0 in the air. At that point, the velocity of the stone is 0. Then it will begin to decelerate backward, right? It will begin to come down at constant velocity. It will not accelerate. It will begin to fall back at constant velocity. And that is the answer to that question. The answer is simply 0, because at maximum height, the stone will stop moving, and that is 0 points. And that is the answer to number 12. Let's check out number 13. Resonance occurs when one vibrating object causes a second object to vibrate at its own natural what? Now, have you ever heard about resonance under sound wave before? Resonance happens when a body, like you have, some of you have seen a drummer before, people drumming. Now, at the drum stand, there is something called chime, like you have it here. I just use this as an example. Now, if this one is displaced, if the red one is displaced and left to each the others, they will all vibrate, right? So that means the red one is going to set them into forced vibration, and this is a practical example of resonance. So resonance is when a body makes another body to move with its own natural frequency. This body is moving with its own frequency, but it is transferring its own frequency into the other body. So it will force them to move with its own natural frequency. Now, so therefore that brings us to the answer. It is the meaning of resonance. It is when a body causes other body to vibrate with its own natural frequency. Like you have, if you've seen somebody drumming before, when he finishes drumming and is trying to roll, or if they are singing a slow song like blues, he may want to make sound on the chime. You know, chime is an instrument that you touch. When you hit one, it will hit the remaining ones. That if you hit the first one, it will hit the remaining one, and they will all make sound. Like you can make shum by hitting one, it will send to the others, and it will make beautiful or melodious sound. And that is the way chime works. So it is just by hitting the first one that it will transfer its frequency, its natural frequency, to the other bodies, and then there will be a resonance. They will all move with the same frequency. Okay, so that is it. So it is all about, the answer is frequency. It is not amplitude. It is not speed. It is frequency. It is not intensity. The answer for resonance is frequency. So it is a transmission of frequency between the bodies, and that is the answer. they vibrate at its own natural frequency. And in fact, that is the meaning of resonance. And that brings us to the answer to that question. Number 4, the mouthpiece of a telephone handset converts what? This one looks like basic 5 question, right? Now, when you talk into the mouthpiece, the person at the other end hear you. Like if you have a phone and you talk to the mouthpiece, now the person at the other end, at the receiving end, can hear you, right? Now, how can the person hear you? What is the interplay of energy between you and the person hearing you? Now, the energy at the mouthpiece, that's the place where you talk, is what? You are talking. The place where you talk, what is the energy transfer from you to the person? Is it electric energy to sound energy? Or sound energy to electric energy? Or sound energy to radio wave? Or radio wave to sound energy? Do you have any idea? This is very easy. Now, that might be correct. Now, let's see which one is correct now. Now, this is actually my mouthpiece now. You can see the mouthpiece there. Now, if I talk into the mouth, into this thing, what is coming from, the first energy coming from me is sound. I'm talking, right? I'm talking into the mouthpiece. So when I talk into the mouthpiece, I transmit sound. But then it transfers to the person through electric energy, because the connection between me and the person is not sound. The connection between me and the person is electricity. So therefore, it flows from me to the mouthpiece and then go by electric power. That's through electrons from me to wherever the person is. So it is from sound energy from me to electrical energy. And that is the answer to the question, sound to electrical energy. And that is very simple, right? Now let's check out number 15 now. 15 says 4 identical trolleys are indeed with different masses, okay, and move using a straight road at the same speed. Which of the trolleys has the greatest inertia? Now, you have heard about inertia before under the first law of motion, and that is called the law of inertia. Inertia is the amount of opposition a body has to motion. Like if you have these things here, look at these 2 buckets now. One is filled with sand. This one is more difficult to push. The amount of difficulty a body has to movement is called inertia. Like if you have your car, if your car breaks down on the road, so if the car stops moving, you have to push, right? So if you are pushing, you will begin to push against the inertia of the car. Inertia actually means rest, or the amount of resistance a body has to motion. So if you push against the car, you are trying to overcome the inertia of the car. Now this bucket with sand has more inertia because it is more difficult to push. But this one that is empty has lower inertia because it is easier to push. Now the question is, which of these trolleys has the greatest difficulty or the greatest stubbornness or the greatest difficulty to push? Now this one is not, because this is 2 kilograms, this 4 kilograms, this 6, and this 8. The one that has the greatest stubbornness or inertia or difficulty to movement will be 8 kilograms, and that is because it has the highest mass. So inertia or difficulty is a function of mass. The higher the mass, the higher the inertia of that body. And that brings us to the answer as D. And that brings us to the end of this session. Don't forget that if you learn something from this session and you'd like to get more contents from us that will help you further understand, click on like button. We have loads of content to explain to you to make physics fun and interesting and something you and anyone can do. And until we see next time, guys, take care of yourself and bye for now.